Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are back to watch another episode of The Last of Us. This is Season 2, Episode 3. It is called The Path. Last episode was devastating for everybody, especially people who did not play the game. I think they were very caught by surprise about the events of what happened. And many have loudly proclaimed that they are not going to be watching the show anymore. And I'm really curious to see if they hold true to that promise or if they, stick along for the revenge tour. Because that is going to be Ellie's modus operandi going forward, is she wants revenge. And Dina has info that can lead her down that path of revenge, and it's going to be an interesting ride. So, before we jump into this, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the episode and you can watch along with me. But other than that, let's jump into Season 2, Episode 3 of The Last of Us. Just spilled all over myself. Oh, don't. Do we really have to watch this part? Tommy's gonna be the one that cleans him? Bruh.
Give Sarah my love.
Oh, come on now. A lot of people died.
Are you in pain?
Yeah, she's in pain.
I can give you something.
Both emotional and physical.
Ellie!
The hallucinations are already starting. Ugh. Oh, and there's just one of them there? How dare you? How dare you? That was so rude. Three months. Dang. Yeah, it did not take 3 months in the game. Jesse, you're kind of ripped, buddy. This is a shot for the fans. Dude's yoked, just pounding it in there.
Look at that.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a full breath. Nice job.
So can I just...
Almost. I just needed to see one more person, then you're good to go.
She been in their hospital this whole time? Ah, Gail. Here for therapy.
Fine.
Come on now.
If you say it
We don't
that
need
fast,
therapy,
I'm
we need
wondering.
murder.
I was actually wondering about New Year's Eve. You two got into it at the dance. Was that the last time you spoke to him?
No.
Yeah.
Don't lie to her, Ellie.
I should have talked to him. But I didn't.
Do you regret that?
Yeah, of course.
Eleanor.
But your...
Don't be lying during therapy.
Someone doesn't define your whole time with them.
It shouldn't, but it often does. In my last moment with Joel, he said he wronged you. He said, I saved her.
He saved me a lot of times.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, but
That's
he
not
was
wrong,
thinking
is
of
it?
a specific instance.
No idea what he meant.
She can't, like, tell
I don't-
people
Feel wronged?
the specifics of
Man, I wish I could have let him off the hook
that
for
incident.
whatever it was he was talking about. I guess I'll have to let myself off the hook for that.
that you're getting the hang of therapy.
Shit. Everyone were as healthy as you. What would I do for weed and booze?
I wouldn't worry, Gail. There's still a lot of fucked up people in this town.
Yeah. But not you, though.
Nope, she's doing A-okay. Definitely not about to go on a revenge tour. Her face just drops as she walks through the hallway. It's good. It's good acting. This also, this 3 months, this 3 months element adds a little more believability to another character's situation that we'll learn later on, and how terrible some events that happen to them truly are. I don't want to explain it. There's a bump involved with someone. This sequence was so sad. Playing the game and just exploring Joel's house. That was her room before she moved to the garage. He didn't change it at all. The box with the watch. Ugh. And his gun. Yeah, she's keeping that. Some really good subtle acting there. Damn. Oh.
Yeah, I'm coming!
I know most of their names, and I know where they're from.
You cost us time. You let them get away.
First of all, this town was wreckage and funerals for weeks. Nobody was gonna go after anyone. And then it occurred to me, if you want to find someone, and the only thing you know about them is where they're gonna end up, maybe let them get there.
Sure. Okay.
I loved him too, you know.
Not as much as her.
The dark-haired guy was Manny. The other guy was Owen.
The girl with the dark hair and the bald one. One of them's named Nora. I'm not sure which.
The girl with the braid.
Abby.
Abby. Where are they from?
I saw a patch on a backpack. Yellow triangle, wolf's head, and the letters WLF. The Washington Liberation Front. Out of Seattle.
Yep, indeed. Okay.
Well,
Let's
now
go
what?
get him. Now we get on Shimmer, specifically, and head on out.
If it had been you, Joel would be halfway to Seattle before the sun came up.
He'd be halfway to Seattle to save my life. But when we lost people, no. would just break him like it was his fault. I saw that time and time again, and don't talk to me like I didn't know him. He was my brother.
You knew him better than you did, Ellie.
I'm not saying you shouldn't do this. But if we're gonna put a posse together, we gotta do it right. Which means taking it to Maria. Yes, it's fucking necessary.
She's in charge.
But you'll back us, right?
Of course I will.
Interesting, interesting, interesting.
Ellie. Buried our dead 10 miles south of town. If you want to visit them.
When we're on our way to Seattle.
Oh. We're getting Seraphites already? Ugh, don't you give me PTSD by whistling.
Why can't she just keep us safe?
The prophet?
Because she's dead.
She's been dead 10 years, Constance. I wouldn't count on her to help.
But Ezra said the prophet is eternal.
Ezra's crazy. That hammer.
Can I have a hammer?
All right. Tell me, you feel safer?
Yes.
Good.
Take cover!
Who's gonna be coming through?
Demons?
Wolves.
Same thing to them.
Good, but rotate. More. Now the right side. Just the right side.
Come on, man. That side hurts more.
That's the point.
Let's go! Last 5. There it is. Okay, done for the day.
So what'd you think?
Better than next time. Or last time, I mean.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah?
Push-ups?
Yeah. Crunches when they weren't looking.
And that'll do it. A few more weeks and you'll be right back to where you were before.
If you wouldn't have been doing push-ups and crunches, you wouldn't have been in there for 3 months. You could have been out in 1.
So you know about the meeting coming up.
I know about the meeting coming up.
Can I count on you?
Can't discuss upcoming votes.
That's a no.
Dude, you were there.
I know that too. Gotta go. The council won't make up their mind until we hear people speak. So, here's a little advice. Organize your thoughts, write them down, and then read them out loud tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, because I'm stupid.
Because you're angry.
It helps.
Ellie. And no one's gonna vote for angry.
You have to convince them that this is a good idea.
Joel meant so much to so many of us. But he wasn't the only one. I lost my sister that day. A lot of people in here buried family.
It's gonna be hard for them to justify resources to avenge one person.
So my heart is with you, Tommy, and Ellie. We are too hurt, and it is too soon.
It's been 3 months.
Forgive and be forgiven. No grudges, no revenge. And I'm not even a Christian.
It's a little more complicated than that, brother.
What separates us from the raiders and the murderers? Our capacity for mercy.
Those sons of bitches don't deserve our mercy.
Hell
They
yeah,
don't
Seth.
deserve it. That's what makes it mercy.
Well, to hell with that.
They do, but
What the hell are we all talking about here? Boo-hoo, it's not fair. What, we gotta forgive everybody when they show up and piss in our eye? They came into our house. They took one of ours. My God, somebody shoots your brother. You want to take the locks off your doors? Grow up!
damn, Seth.
They'll come back.
Damn,
They'll
Seth.
come back because we didn't make them pay. And when they come back, they'll be laughing. And you'll all deserve it.
Except they won't come back. They came for
Don't you?
one guy.
Goddamn victims.
That's the thing they don't know. They don't know that the group only came for one guy. That was the whole reason they were here.
I'm asking us to risk more people and resources and at the worst possible time. And I want everyone to know. It's not because I want revenge. It's not. It's not about revenge. What I want is what you used to give people.
It's strictly revenge.
And I swear, if someone hurts any of you or the people you love, you can count on me. That's what holds all this together. Definitely not a wall, because that thing got busted through, but Jackson is still here.
It's a nice speech,
I'll accept
but
whatever the council decides.
her reasoning,
I am asking you.
she's lying to them.
Do what it takes to see that justice is done. Not for me.
It's hard to explain
Not even for
fully how I know it's not
asking
justice that she wants.
Please, do it for us.
Because justice has already been done. Them killing Joel was justice. And maybe Ellie killing Abby could be considered justice in a way, but
to send a party of 16 citizens to Seattle to find the people who killed Joel.
Ellie doesn't want justice. Ellie wants
execute them.
revenge.
Yes. No. No. No.
Damn.
No.
It's a lot of people voting no.
The vote is 8-3. The proposal is rejected.
Damn. Well, we needed it to be just them that goes out. They got baseball? They got baseball after the apocalypse? Why are you in the outfield? Gail, you can't sit there. This may be T-ball, but this is fair ball.
Shit.
This is fair territory. Get out of there.
My Tiger season tickets. This actually isn't that far off from the 03 squad. You want a beer?
The Detroit Tigers? They were real bad in '03.
I'm nervous she's gonna do something stupid.
What, you didn't believe her speech?
No.
You?
God, no.
Of course not. She's a liar.
Absolutely.
Turns out nurture can only do this much. The rest is nature. If she's on a path, it's not one that Joel put her on. No, I think they were...
Ellie's been like this since the beginning. She's always
I
been
get it.
the one that likes
inherited her.
the
I
violence.
didn't want to keep her out of trouble. Take it from a psychotherapist of 40 years. Some people just can't be saved.
She's getting ready. She's got her whole arsenal.
I'm just going to bed.
No, I don't think that is where you're going.
You're a liar, Ellie. I think you're going to Seattle.
Are you alone?
I'm alone.
What's your plan?
Go to Seattle and kill Abby.
What route?
Northwest?
And is that all guns, or do you have medical supplies in there? No?
Listen, she's not much of a thinker.
Handguns. What are you bringing?
That one.
Is that Joel's?
A little poetic
That's
justice.
what you're good at killing.
Fucking right.
And save it for that. Slow and kicks like hell. Really? Shoot your damn ass off?
Heard that before.
She ain't got much of one to begin with.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you.
Damn right, Ellie.
You know, you could have just asked.
Of course she would go
I
with you.
actually didn't know that.
Now you do.
You guys smooched. She's ride or die. Oh, Seth. Yo, what a twist. Did you two become homies in the last 3 months?
Trade. It's better. Trade.
Your gun sucks ass.
I'd come with you, but I caught some friendly fire on New Year's Day.
I'm sure it's friendly.
Jesus Christ.
You got 10 minutes before patrol comes by.
Ellie.
Let's get you going.
The way Ellie treats Seth, both here, which didn't happen in the game, but also the scenes in the game, it goes to show just how unwilling Ellie is to forgive, even when the stakes are so much smaller, right? Like when it's purely just a bigot, or in his case, maybe a former bigot who's willing to change. Like even when it's that, she is still so reluctant to give him the time of day. Now, how do you think she's gonna feel about the people who murdered her dad? Like these small moments go so far to inform her character. This area kind of reminds me of where they live, the house in the game. This is so interesting. Oh, coffee beans. Oh, because he loves coffee and she hates it. R.I.P. Joel. R.I.P. But, like I was saying, this is very interesting because in the game, Tommy leaves before them. And it's like it's like within a week of Joel dying, Tommy is like, I'm going to get them. He leaves like one night before Ellie and Dina. And so you spend the whole game kind of following his path.
First person you killed.
Jesus, really?
Okay.
Yeah, fun stories of childhood.
Okay, well the first one's too fucked up, but I can tell you the second one.
Yeah, she's not going to tell you about how she killed her ex-girlfriend.
I got to Jackson, in Kansas City.
That'll be
we got
dark.
jumped by this kid, maybe just a couple years older than me. And I came up behind him, raised my gun, and yeah.
And the kid begged for his life.
Interesting. I shoot a guy and he feels sorry for me.
Also, technically, Ellie didn't kill him. Technically, Joel killed him.
Let me know if you see any outcroppings or spots with cover.
Why? Looks okay.
That looks like smoke. Guess it was just a cloud. Maybe this scene will replace the weed smoking scene. Converse.
Okay, but I have a stupid question.
Yep. What does your tattoo mean?
It's about New Year's Eve.
Oh, no.
You know.
Did you like the kiss?
Whatever, you were super high.
And you were drunk.
Right, so it doesn't mean anything.
That
if that's what
evens
you're
it out.
asking.
No, I know that. My question is,
Was it good?
how would you rate it?
This is replacing
No.
the weed scene.
You've kissed girls before. You're gay, I'm not. I'm just curious.
Hey,
Wanna know
come
if
on
I'm
now.
good at it.
Don't erase bisexual people.
Okay,
Okay, fine, 6.
6?
You 6.
That's not bad.
That sucks. For the record, I don't believe you.
Well, you asked, and I told you. I'm sorry.
Don't lie, Ellie. You know that was a 10 out of a 10 kiss for
Go
you.
back to Jesse.
Maybe not on a technical scale, but
Well, there you have it.
on an emotional scale.
Does he ever strike you as sad?
Jesse? Yeah. Has he ever told you why?
No. But I think deep inside, that's just how he is.
That's how a lot
At
of us
least I
are.
hope that's why.
Why would you hope that?
Well, because if it's not that, then it's me.
Jesse dumped her. Or has dumped her several times. Dina, what would you rate the kiss?
It wasn't that high.
She made an informed decision to kiss you.
How much further?
Close. Maybe 10 miles.
This is that Seraphite path from earlier.
Just north of the city.
Oh.
Are we gonna find a bunch of dead Seraphites? Interesting.
What's that symbol?
I don't know. I've never seen it before. Dina. Dina!
Smart. Smart how they implemented that. If you played the game, you know. If you played the game, you know. Ooh. Dina's definitely throwing up because of these bodies. Damn. That looks like the tree from the game. The one that Ellie hides behind with her, like, machete. They killed the kid? Damn. With her little hammer. Oh, WLF be... As a whole, they be doing shady stuff. They're in a brutal war with them.
I think it was a smell.
It wasn't easy to look at either.
It was definitely the smell. That's exactly why you threw up.
If Abby and her crew did this to people, to kids,
It wasn't Abby, and it wasn't her crew, but it was the Wolves. It was the WLF. They are implementing things really well in this episode. Like things that are gonna come up later.
It's quiet.
yeah, too quiet.
Curtis or Viper?
Both in all 4 movies.
9 more miles.
Tacoma. That's the kind of truck I want.
9 more.
Sometimes I think it's funny that, like, products and companies are named after things. Like Tacoma. Like, I imagine places near where I live. Like, the Honda Minneapolis.
Fucking Seattle.
Wow.
Pretty.
It is a pretty
Plus
city.
no one's shooting at
I
us.
kind of want to live in Seattle.
Guess there aren't that many wolves.
There's about to be a whole lot less.
Curtis or Viper?
If you guys only knew.
No, that was just me. I was trying to sound like a badass. You don't need to try.
You are a badass. y'all only knew how many there are. Big yikes.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're moving up to the fob. All clear between checkpoint 3 and 5?
Oh yeah, that's another thing. They all drew back to the fob. That's why there's not very many out there.
You're all good. You can move up.
Okay. Oh god. Okay. I was scared. I thought I recognized the street. I was like, no! You can't do it to me this early. Yeah. There's a lot of them. This is a whole ass army. Jesus. Bro. Ugh. Ugh. Yo. Bro, we're making it all the way to the movie theater next episode? That's crazy. Okay, there you have it, episode 3. The beginning of a very morally complicated journey for Ellie and Dina. A very morally gray journey that I think we already got hints of in this episode. Like, even people who played the game, we're now like having to rethink some things about groups of people, and it's very interesting. Like, in this instance, I'm talking specifically about the Seraphites. The Seraphites are the religious group that we met along that path. In the game, you very much don't like these people, right? In the game, this group of religious people is very much antagonistic towards you as the player. And they are, I mean, they're frightening with their whistles. Like, the very first time you encounter them, they're trying to kill you, you're hiding from them. It is very much an antagonistic relationship. There isn't, I don't think, a single time in the game where you as the player, with the character you're controlling, there isn't a single time where you feel good towards that group of people as a whole. There's some, different feelings towards some individuals of the group, but then it's kind of hard to classify those individuals as part of the group, considering their relationship with themselves with the rest of that group. But yeah, like, even this episode, we're already being met with moral quandaries, right? Even the people that played the game already are like, damn, I have to think about these people a little differently now. Because, like I said, in the game, you don't like these people. You are happy to kill these people, right? They are trying to kill you most of the time, and you're perfectly fine just taking them out, and you see hints of them throughout the game as well. You see hints of this prophet, but yeah, to encounter them this early and have them be like sympathetic, like really sympathetic individuals. And specifically the dynamics of the two that we spend the most time with in that scene, the two that are at the front of the procession, a father and a daughter. Like, the direct parallel of those two individuals, you can slot them into the Joel and Ellie, dynamic, I guess, a father and a daughter. We spent so much of last season really getting to know this father and this daughter. We spent so much time playing the first game getting to know essentially this father and this daughter. And it really drives home the parallel of, like, these people could be anyone. Like, they have individual relationships. They have thoughts and feelings and are their own people. Like, they are not just like NPCs that we are murdering as we go through the game, like joyfully, like, ah, you die. Like, they're real people. Regardless of whether they, the group in the game is antagonistic towards you, like, there are individuals with lives and people they care about. And having, like, meeting them initially and being like, wow, like, I don't personally, go along with their individual religion and their profit and all that. And knowing some of the things they do in the game, you're like, okay, I don't like these people. But then you meet just this cutest little girl ever who, she doesn't know anything about the world yet. All she knows is her dad. And she's just precious. And then you meet them later on in the episode and they've all been massacred. Right? Every one of them is dead. And it's Ellie and Dina that meet them. Or meet them, find their bodies. And Ellie sees them and she assumes that the WLF did it, which they did. It was the WLF. But at this point in the story, Ellie and Dina think that this is a small group. They think that Abby's group is like a small group of individuals because they haven't heard anything about them. And what they don't realize, and what we see at the end of the episode, is this is not a small group. This is a massive, massive militarized force, right? And the reason that the city seems so peaceful and we don't see a lot of them is because they've all pulled back to one specific location, the FOB, which stands for Forward Operating Base. Like, they're in the middle of a war right now, and so to protect the group and make sure as much of them live as possible, they're all going to one location. And so Ellie and Dina think, hey, nobody's here. This is going to be easy, right? Like, they think it's going to be a walk in the park getting to these people and killing them, but it's not. There's a whole lot of people there. But then that also means they incorrectly attribute this massacre to Abby's group, because Abby's group's been back. They've been back in Seattle for a minute. Like, 3 months have passed, right? They didn't kill these people. That wasn't them that did this. It was other people in the WLF, but Ellie and Dina, they don't know that. They like this, seeing these bodies on the way just adds fuel to the fire for them of like, it's beyond just we need to avenge Joel. These people are monsters. We need to kill them, which further drives home like all of the actions you do in the game of like all the people you just brutally murder. Like, Ellie believes these people are animals and monsters and deserve to be put down. And you learn in the second half of the game that a lot of these people are very kind individuals and are good people, just like in a bad environment. And it just really drives home the perspective element of the game. Like, the story of the game and what they're going to be telling in the show is like, everybody is the hero in their own story. Like, there are different villains of everybody's story. Joel was the villain in Abby's story. She was the hero. In any other instance, we would be rooting for Abby to kill Joel. Like, if this was, John Wick, his dog dies. Granted, everyone has a soft spot for dogs, but his dog dies in the first movie, and that is the entire impetus for his revenge tour, is that someone killed his dog. Right? Like, he brutally murders a lot of people because his dog died. And granted, those people are bad people and gangsters and mobsters, but we also don't see all the good, nice things those characters did in that film. So, like, it just really drives home the element of the game and the story that all these people are like distinct individuals with relationships and people they care about and people that care about them. And it makes the journey that we're going to go on so morally complicated. And you start this episode being like, yeah, we need to kill them. At least, like, if you're someone that didn't play the game and you're just a show fan, you're very much like, yeah, they killed Joel. Like, we need to do this. Like, I want them to die. And honestly, a lot of game players themselves were like, even after they beat the game, they're like, you know what? I don't care. I still wanted them to die because I knew Joel. I didn't know these people. And the show and the game are trying to take you on a journey of questioning some of those thoughts that you have and maybe challenging them a bit. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they go about it. Another thing that was interesting in this episode is how they shifted and changed and implemented some of the things in the game and how they set some things up going forward. And it's just like, it's so curious. So the first thing they do is we open it up with the immediate aftermath of the battle, of the attack on Jackson. And there's a lot of charred bodies outside, and we see Tommy doing a one-man wake, as Gabriel Luna calls it, for Joel, where he's cleaning his body, preparing him to be buried and for them to have a funeral. And it's a quiet, slow scene. Like, the way they open this episode is so nice. Like, just giving us this time to really process what just happened, because we end the last episode just pure devastation. Everyone is like, what the fuck just happened? Like, crying, bawling, like, this can't be real. And we open this episode with, it is real. It's time to process that, which is different in the game. In the game, like I said, they go after these people within a week, right? They're going after them. And in this, we get some time. We get some time to process that, and then 3 months in the story pass. Those 3 months don't pass in the game. It is damn near immediate. So that wasn't a very interesting change how they went about that. One thing that was pretty spot on is walking through Joel's house. Ellie, she gets out of the hospital. Actually, let's talk about Ellie in the hospital first. So Ellie wakes up probably the next day, and she looks out, and she doesn't see herself in the hospital. She sees herself in that room still watching Joel be murdered again, which is such a good implementation of that element of the game, because that's something that happens in the game. Is Ellie has these moments of PTSD where she kind of hallucinates a little bit, envisions herself, witnessing Joel be murdered, even in moments that she should be happy, right? I don't want to spoil when it happens in the game, but there is a moment where Ellie is in a good spot, like, she should be happy in this moment, and instead she opens a door and she is right back in that moment, and she just can't let it go. Like, it's haunting her. And so implementing that early in the show was a really good touch. That was well done, in my opinion. And then her talking to Gail was so interesting, because Gail's trying to give her this, like, therapy talk, and Ellie's like, yeah, I miss him, I'm sad, like, I'm good though, like, yada yada yada. And Gail is like, he told me something, that he saved you, and what's that about? And Ellie, one, just doesn't like talking about herself and Joel that much to anybody. Like, that's them, that's personal to them. But also, Ellie, she can't really tell anyone other than Tommy and Maria. I think nobody else knows that Ellie is immune, which is something we are gonna witness full on next episode, by the way. The trailer for next episode, holy mother of God, I didn't realize we were going that far right away. But yeah, Ellie, she doesn't want to tell Gail that she's immune, so she just lies to her. And and we go on, and she gets out of the hospital, and she goes to visit Joel's house, right? Like, she's been in the hospital for 3 months. They haven't even let her out, which is wild. So the first time we see her in this house is the first time she's been back. And that scene in the show hit just as hard in the game. Like, just walking through Joel's house and seeing these little memories was so good. Like, you get to see, in a sense, the years that those, like the 5 years that those two had living in this house. You see her former room, like her old bed. The mattress is gone because she's no longer in there. She's in the garage. But like, Joel hasn't changed her room at all. Like, he is to his dying day, you know, her dad, and he's gonna leave that room exactly as she left it, and she can change it, but he's not gonna change that. We see, you know, some of Joel's whittling projects, like the things that he got into as hobbies, like just these beautiful little moments and things in that house that you really feel. The hardest hitting is when she finds his jacket and just smells his jacket, because that's a thing people do when you lose someone. Like, you go through their stuff and you find their clothes and you just smell their clothes because it still smells like them, and you almost have them back for a second, and just watching her pain was so good. It hurt, but it was so good. I'm pretty sure in the game she takes that jacket and wears it throughout the game, which is, you know, one of many elements that illustrate like how she kind of becomes Joel in a sense in the second game. And then she finds his watch, his broken watch, and his gun, and she takes the gun. I don't remember in the game if she took the watch with her. I thought she did, but I could be wrong. But I don't think she took it in this. I think she left it in the box and just took the gun, which is another illustration that really gives you some insight into Ellie's mindset of like where she is at, and her intentions is she's not taking the watch to remember Joel. She's taking his gun. And it just goes to show who Ellie is as an individual, like what sort of justice she wants to dispense. And then Dina tells her the info and is like, I didn't want to tell you because you would have left immediately, like in the game. Ellie has the info immediately. She leaves immediately because that's part of the game. In an action-oriented game, they couldn't afford the extended period of time of mourning in the game. And so she goes, and Dina has it fully planned out. She's like, we're going to need this, because if Ellie went on her own, she would have died in the wilderness, right? She is not a thinker. She is a doer. Dina is a thinker, not a doer. And those two make an incredible team as they go along this journey, because Dina's ride or die. Of course she's going with her. An interesting change in the game versus the show is, in the game, Tommy goes. Tommy leaves. Tommy's out of there. You know, within a couple days. You know, Ellie and Tommy talk, and Tommy's like, just wait, like, give me a week, give me a day. I forgot how long he tells her to wait, but he's like, just wait. He knows she's gonna go out like the next day, but he's like, just let me talk to Maria. And by the time, like, I think it's like the next day, Maria comes to Ellie and she's like, Tommy left this morning. Right? Like, he took a horse and he's gone. And that is another element of the story is Maria wants Ellie and Dina to bring Tommy back. She's like, I'll let you leave. This isn't even a situation where they have to sneak out. This is Maria is like, I'll straight up give you supplies and let you leave because I want you to bring Tommy back. So that's an interesting change, is that as far as we know, Tommy is still back in Jackson being a leader for these people. And Seth is the one that helps them get out, which is another really interesting dynamic. because in the game, the last we see of Seth is the sandwich scene, where he gives Ellie the sandwiches, and her and Jesse are like bigot sandwiches. You know, that's the last time we see Seth in the game. And in this instance, having him stand up at the town meeting and be like, they killed our people, like, we need to hunt them down and kill them, you know, we need revenge. That was very interesting. And him being the one that got Dina supplies and got them out, like, that was so curious, because it just adds it adds another element to the idea of, like, we think we feel certain ways about these individuals based on one interaction, one scene with them. You know, with the WLF and the Seraphites and all these people, we are constantly being confronted with the idea that these people are more complicated than we might think, right? There can be a scene where Seth is a bigot and he's an asshole, and then another scene where we realize he actually does care about these people. He loved Joel. He loves Ellie, right? He truly regrets how he treated these people, and he helps them get out. Like, that's so interesting that Seth is the one that helps them get out. And it adds I think it works even better than Maria having them go out. I'm very curious how they are going to address the change of Tommy not going, because so much of the second game, you know, part of the reason that there's not many people that you have to go through is because Tommy already made his way through, right? You come across some scenes of, like, brutal violence, and you're like, damn, like, Tommy been doing work. Tommy been doing this. And the fact that they're not then following him in the show is very interesting. I wonder how they're gonna address that, what they're gonna have Tommy do if they have him go out on this journey at all, because he has to. Like, that's a huge point. Like, that's a huge thing in the game, is the things Tommy does in Joel's name. Very curious how they do that. What else? That 3-month gap is also very interesting, because it explains certain characters' conditions. There is a character who in the game is not the way we have seen them up to this point. And a lot of people were questioning it at the end of last episode. They were like, hey, that person isn't the way that I know them to be. Like, what's going on? It's gonna be like, there's a massive event that happens in the second half of the game, towards the end of the game, that really, really, really drives home, like, Ellie, you're doing some fucked up shit. Like, you need to chill. This is bad. Like you can't be doing this. Like really, really, really bad stuff that Ellie does. And like the type of, and you can't take that out of the story. Like, that's such a massive pivotal moment. And people saw the last episode and they were like, hey, that character is not the way that I saw them last time. How is this gonna work? But now, that 3-month gap, that actually can really, really work to explain that, you know? That makes sense why that person wasn't that way last episode. That 3-month gap also informs some other things. I pointed it out in the episode when they're on the path, where they see the Seraphites. There's something that happens there where, if you don't know, okay. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's some stuff in that Seraphite scene where you're like, okay, if you watch the show, you're like, interesting, that makes sense. You're like, okay, yeah, that happened because of that. But if you played the game, you're like, ooh, I see you. Like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just, yep. Like, we noticed some things. So that was a really interesting implementation. And then, what else? What is another interesting change that I can say without spoiling anything? I think they combined the characters of Manny and I think it was Jason. I think it was Jason in the game. They combined those two characters. So there's a character, the first character that Ellie kills in the game is not in the show. So I'm curious how they're going to do some of this stuff, because right before Ellie kills that character, something happens. And I thought it was going to happen in the show. I was expecting them to ride through that street, right? Like when the tank is rolling down that street, I thought it was going to be Ellie and Dina coming down that street. And I was like, oh shit, I thought I recognized this street. And I was like, you can't do it to us this early. Like, you can't do that to me. But no, nothing happened. So that's good. But I am curious how they're going to make that happen, because that needs to happen before Ellie kills Jason. But Jason isn't in the show, so it's like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. Like there are two members of Abby's group that just aren't in the show, and those characters, I mean, I don't know. There are some interesting set pieces surrounding those characters that we just don't see. Possibly, I don't know. But the trailer for next episode, oh man, we're making it all the way to the movie theater, which is crazy. Like, okay, if you watched the 30-second teaser for next episode, like, you know, there's a scene, Dina pulls a gun on Ellie, and it's the reasoning why is very interesting. I'm very curious how that's gonna happen. But then we also, I think, see Ellie tackle Manny. So that's really interesting as well. That really, really potentially changes the second half of this game, right? There are some things that happen involving Manny in the second half of the game, and I'm curious how that's gonna work. That's very interesting. They're keeping us on our toes. that's gonna be wild. But yeah. This episode was really solid. I really enjoyed the quieter moments, the slower moments at the beginning, where we get to see Ellie specifically, but also the town kind of mourn these people. And decide what they're going to do next. Ellie lies to the town and is like, I just want justice, when she really wants revenge. We see her go to Joel's grave, which was a sweet moment in the game, and even nicer here. And she lays some coffee beans down because he loves coffee and she hates it. And it's just this like beautiful moment where we as an audience get to mourn Joel as well. And then they go on their journey, and it's just, it is the start of a very dark journey, and I'm really curious. Oh, next episode we're getting the music store as well. Oh, we're getting an iconic scene from the game next episode in the music store, and it's an element in the game that is completely optional. Like, it's not even technically like required part of the story. You can go right past that area in the game if you want to, but it is one of the nicest, cutest, most beautiful moments in gaming, in my opinion. Like, it's so good. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say on this one. Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm very curious to see how you guys feel. Otherwise, if you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe or ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the episode and you can watch along with me. But other than that, like I said, that's all I gotta say. So I will catch you guys next time.